I can't really speak of what they can expect from me, but I know my teammates are going to be ready to show up and play, and I'm going to give it 100%, and we're going to have some fun.
Anthony Edwards, an all-star guard for the Minnesota Timberwolves, made the suggestion a few weeks ago that he would like to be the first athlete to play in both the NBA and NFL. What did he mean by these words? Is Anthony Edwards going to be the first athlete to compete in the NFL and NBA? When asked if he could play football and basketball at the top level, Edwards responded, "I think I might be the first one," during an appearance on Open Thoughts with Marco Summers via ESPN. Although Edwards stated that he is going to try to create history as an NFL and NBA player, it is evident that his primary emphasis is on achieving his objectives in the NBA. The 22-year-old basketball player stated that he must manage his business in the NBA before continuing, saying, "We want to win a championship as a team, the Minnesota Timberwolves organization. We'll work that out after that." After thriving at the University of Georgia, Edwards was selected first overall in the 2020 NBA Draft. However, ESPN reports that prior to concentrating solely on basketball, Edwards was one of the best Pop Warner running backs in the country. Edwards has thus far benefited from the choice as he has rapidly emerged as one of the NBA's top players. Despite averaging 24.6 points, 5.8 rebounds, 4.4 assists, and 1.6 steals per game the previous season, Edwards was chosen an All-Star for the first time and assisted the T-Wolves in their playoff run. With 14 games played so far this season, Edwards has perhaps been even more effective. He averages 26.1 points, 5.9 rebounds, 5.1 assists, and 1.4 steals while shooting 38.9% from outside the arc and 46.7% from the field. Most notably, with Edwards leading the way, the Timberwolves own the top record in the Western Conference at 11-3, indicating that they could be a contender for the first ever championship. Has Anthony changed this season, becoming a more responsible player? Anthony Edwards, Ant, has always exuded a commanding presence that carries you away with the lingering sway of his buzz. From the trampolines in his hamstrings to the sparkling in his smile. For the next 33 years, stories about Ant's exploits on the basketball court will be shared over oatmeal in nursing home dining halls, complete with elderly gestures. However, Ant has also started to grasp the whispering of greatness in the opening moments of this narrative 2023-24 NBA season. He's easily able to adjust the level of his exploits from heart-stopping arias to the sweet harmonies of teamwork. In all 4 of his NBA seasons, Ant has made significant strides in improving his overall game. However, the way he has changed thus far this season, from a remarkable young player on the verge of stardom to the most important driving force behind the best 6-week start in the Minnesota Timberwolves' 35-year history, has been the most challenging and remarkable change in his short career, and the most unexpected. It was practically a given that Ant would rank among the best 10 or 15 players in the league going into this season, but at 22, he still had a lot of maturity remaining for his rise, namely in his attention to detail. He had to learn not just to worry about the little things, but also to identify the kind of little things that could add a great deal of value as glue and caulk to a team effort and use them wisely. This season, fans continue to swarm Ant's court for the loud moments that leave a lasting impression. The dunks, the blocks on the chase down, the airtight defense against a strong foe, and the barrage of long range and painted buckets that spin the scoreboard like a pinball game. However, more than anybody else, Ant is whispering and roaring the Minnesota Timberwolves into victory, which is why fans are suddenly swarming to see them. One of the jumbled analytical data used by the NBA is called Player Impact Estimate, or PI. It examines each component of the box score and calculates the percentage of events that each player has helped the team win. MVP candidates are nearly always at the top of the list, making it a fairly credible metric over the course of the season. Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, Luka Doncic, Devin Booker, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander ranked 1st through 5th in PI as of Wednesday morning. Last season, Ant ranked 62nd in PI. He is presently ranked 17th. However, this ranking severely underestimates Ant's beneficial impact on his team's success. Let's adopt an obviously cruder measure, albeit one that requires a considerable amount of data and computation to discover why this is the case. It combines two numerical data sets. One is called net rating, which is the sum of the points his team scores on the court for each possession while he is playing, less the sum of the points the team concedes for each possession while he is playing. The second is called on-off, and it determines how well a team does both when a player sits or is off the court and when he plays or is on the court. When you combine these, you get what is known as a net on-off rating. Out of all the NBA players who have had at least 500 possessions this season, Edwards has had the greatest beneficial impact on his club by this metric. The Wolves have played 17 games this season, and in the 597 minutes Ant has played, the team has scored 116.7 points per 100 possessions and given up just 104.6 points, for a net rating of plus 12. The Wolves have scored 99.8 points per 100 possessions and given up 108.3 points per 100 possessions in the 224 minutes that Ant has not played this season, for a net rating of minus 8.5. The impact of Ant's on-off play is plus 20.5 per 100 possessions when you compute the plus 12 Ant is on the court to the minus 8.5 off the court. On the Pi ranking, none of the 16 players that are ranked higher than Ant have a more favorable effect on their teams. The closest are Devin Booker, 4th in Pi, of the Phoenix Suns, and LeBron James, 9th in Pi, of the Los Angeles Lakers, who both have an on-off net rating differential of plus 18.8. This particular estimate is valid since it accounts for both the player's missing contributions from the bench and the team's gains when he is on the floor, and Ant's influence is clearly felt in both directions. What makes Anthony's style of playing so unique? For the Wolves, who give up the fewest points per possession in the NBA, Ant is more than just a passive spectator when it comes to defense. The team's net rating improves dramatically with him on the court, allowing only 106.6 points to be allowed per 100 possessions, a 2-point decrease. Additionally, when he is not playing, the team allows 108.3 points, which would put them in 4th place in the NBA. But Ant's importance is most noticeable when he is attacking. The Wolves score 116.7 points per 100 possessions when he is active, which would rank them 9th in the NBA in terms of offensive rating. However, the Wolves are now ranked 14th because when Ant sits, they score pitiful 99.8 points, which is 5.3 points less per 100 possessions than the Portland Trail Blazers, who have the lowest offensive rating in the NBA. Impressive figures, yes, but team success is the most important and praiseworthy part of all of this. Against a subpar roster, Ant doesn't stick out. With 30 teams, his squad now has the second highest winning percentage in the NBA. With a record of 14-4, only the Celtics, whom the Wolves have defeated primarily because of Ant's heroics on both ends of the ball in their lone encounter, are better than Minnesota's 13-4 record. Certain things are quantifiable. When Ant was on the court, the Wolves allowed the fewest points per 100 possessions before this season, 110.6, 2 seasons prior. It's 104.6 so far this year, which is a significant improvement. Okay, but wasn't the improved team performance mostly attributed to the return of Rudy Gobert, the solid leadership of veterans like Mike Conley and Kyle Anderson, as well as coach Chris Finch's more incentive schemes? Yes, but Ant's enhanced attention, desire, and awareness of defensive cues and basics have never been better, which makes a positive difference between how the Wolves defend with him on the court and off the court bigger than ever. Saying that the Wolves have a higher defensive rating with Ant on the court than with any other player in the starting lineup is an even simpler way to refute this claim. Ant hasn't compromised offensively in favor of volume or efficiency. Throughout his career, he is shooting more often and with greater accuracy than ever before. More than ever, he is getting to the free throw line, a specific goal set by Finch at the beginning of the season, and making 86.4% of them, which is an improvement over his previous career high of 78.6%. Are you a fan of Anthony Edwards? Do you think he will make history by playing in both the NBA and NFL? Do let us know your thoughts in the comments section. For more interesting stories and updates, subscribe to our channel and do not forget to press the bell icon for notifications. Goodbye.